Hello, everyone. This is Howard Fox, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series, the podcast that celebrates individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Cameron Mauk is our guest today. Cameron is the founder of Backbone Coffee Company. Now, today we're going to learn a little bit about Cameron's passion for coffee, his entrepreneurial journey, his love for hunting and traveling, and of course, the role that family plays on his life, especially as an entrepreneur. And I want to give a good shout out to our good friends at Podmatch. This is the site I use to find guests for the program, and I was really very fortunate to come across Cameron's profile. And I have to say, he had me at coffee. So and anybody that knows me knows how easy that is. So Cameron, it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Welcome this morning.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you having me. Good morning.
Fantastic. Now, I love you're wearing some of your merch already. You got
I am.
I love
It's a little chilly this morning, so I had a hoodie on this morning. Yeah, our hoodies and my hat as well. So
Okay. The only merch I have, wait a minute, there it is. I have a sticker. There we go. I got a sticker. I'll send you a sticker. I should
awesome.
get
I
stickers.
appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think they're going to say I was a guest on the Outdoor Adventure Series. So whatever.
Oh,
Uh,
perfect.
so first off, you said it's chilly this morning. Where are you, by the way?
So I live in just northwest of Oklahoma City, so not too bad. Just smack dead center of the middle of the country. So
Okay. Now I made my way from Chicago, so I have a Midwest accent. I think I still do. Uh, from Chicago, I live in Las Vegas now. And my good friends live in Edmond, which is, I guess, north of Oklahoma City. So it's just kind of cool to pass through the state and see a little bit about what it has to offer.
oh yeah, absolutely. It's a great place. I'm originally from South Louisiana, so I've only been up here right over a year, but it's fantastic, and myself as well as my family have like it a lot. So it's been going great.
Excellent. Now, there is a connection here between obviously the coffee and the entrepreneurial side, the and also your love for hunting, and we need to talk a little the land. Need to talk about that. But I would love if you could, for a few minutes, tell us a little bit about your background. You just mentioned Louisiana, and I don't hear a Louisiana accent there. But tell us a little bit about yourself and what has been your journey.
Oh, well, so I grew up my entire life in South Louisiana. Um, I'd been in the trades, and by trades, I've kind of it's pretty crazy to me. So I'm 28 years old. As soon as I was 18 years old, I went to work. I worked on the Mississippi River on, I guess you would call them fertilizer barges. We loaded a lot of chemicals and/or granules. I've been around the trades my whole life, but also growing up down there, that's kind of what everyone did in a way. My dad did not work in the trades at all, but my grandfather did. But all of my friends' dads or uncles, or it was almost a way of life
Hmm.
um, down that way. So I did that, up until December of 2023 to move up this way and kind of just chase my dream of Backbone and my day job. So I am in real estate, but we sell recreational hunting ground and vacant land. So that's my day job, but just kind of chasing two dreams at once. And I love that I have the freedom to do both. So very, very grateful for that.
Okay. And first off, I have to ask this question: being from Louisiana, are you a good cook?
I'd have to give the credit to my wife.
Ah, okay,
I can
okay,
still,
fair enough.
yeah, I think I do a great boiled crawfish, of course. I think that's almost a rite of passage, right? I think growing up down there, everyone does it. As crazy as it sounds, they all kind of taste the same, but everyone has their own little niche that they do. So,
Okay, that's fair. And I would have hoped, and that's okay, that you said I know I make a good roux for the gumbo, but crawfish, I've partaken from a big table of crawfish before in one of those shotgun houses in New Orleans. Friends
oh
lived there,
wow,
and
yeah,
And so I'm a big foodie, and I love the South, and especially Creole and Cajun cooking. So we're good. We are good. So this idea of kind of moving away from what your friends and family were all doing, working the river, and it's really funny. Little tangent. I was looking at some Facebook videos as I was preparing for the episode,
Right.
and you know what it's like. We just kind of click, click. But there was a scene of a barge going down the river, and I'm thinking that's probably the Mississippi River, and I was wondering what was in the barge. And it's like it's pretty ironic that that's exactly what you started the conversation with of working the trades on the Mississippi, and so very interesting.
Yes,
Some karma
it has
going
its
on.
own, yeah, it's its own. That's where I started. So I started there. I don't mean to go. I started on the river and then just kind of worked my way through some contractor companies in a
Mhm.
petrochemical and or a chemical facility up until I worked for a big name oil company for the remainder of my career. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
Okay.
that's where it started, and they fill those things with everything from oil all the way to it could be grain. So
Okay. Fair
pretty
enough.
crazy. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the hunting and the real estate. Now, I've not heard of this part of the real estate profession before. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I met these guys who I work for a couple years back, actually, while I was turkey hunting. I have some family in Kansas, and I hunt on some of their property. And through a friend of a friend, I had met these guys that specialize, and it just seemed right in my wheelhouse. But they specialize in recreational hunting ground, vacant properties, right? Whether that be agriculture and or hunting properties.
Mhm.
It's they all go hand in hand, and that's basically that, and, it's a great job. I get to speak with farmers all day. I get to meet new people all the time. I get to see some absolutely beautiful farms, and it's pretty fun too that I can almost take my knowledge of whether it be whitetail hunting or waterfowl or turkey, and with a client of mine, I can help them find that property that fits whatever goal they may have, and then let's say we get them there, but they also wanna keep us just to have some sort of, um, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe recommendation, almost like a land management style. We'll also help them there as well. And we also, my broker is a big part. He's actually the owner of a waterfowl outfit as well.
Mhm.
So these guys, I have learned so much just in regards to waterfowl, just working with these guys. They'll buy a property and or help a client turn it into a waterfowl mecca,
Mhm.
and to see the work that really goes into it, because the pictures on Instagram and everything look great, right? But the backside of it is there's a lot of work that goes involved to it, and that's with can be a waterfowl or it can be a whitetail compound. I mean, there's just a lot of work that goes into it, but it's a
Okay.
great job. It's fun.
Okay. Now, it's interesting you share this, and now it raises another question. I have good friends that are affiliated with a magazine. It's a paper and digital magazine called Upland Almanac,
Okay.
which is now their focus is upland bird hunting. Now, but you have waterfowl, which are like I would. I- You're going to correct me if I'm wrong. Please do. I'm thinking ducks and geese. I know what a wild turkey is. I almost got clipped by one in the woods up in Pennsylvania, but it's like what my friend said, watch out. But but this land, it has to be a very large parcel of land, I would imagine.
Well, it okay, so it can be, right? A friend of mine only owns 50 acres, and it's one of the most beautiful 50 acres I've seen. On the northeast side, he has his
Okay.
waterfowl marsh. On the
Okay.
western side, he has a deer stand. So it kind that's his perfect fit. Now,
Okay.
you can go from, let's say, 40 acres, but there's guys that have 320 acres, 1,000 acres, and
Oh,
it
wow.
just starts getting, yeah, it can expand to kind of your liking, but that's the good side of having, I guess, someone who's well versed in it to know what a good 40-acre property looks like, if that might be the client's interest
Mhm.
or if they're into something a lot bigger.
Now, when you are going out for your own enjoyment, what is your preference in terms of the hunting experience, or do you have one?
I do. I It's funny, we kind of spoke a little bit about just kind of what it can do for somebody mentally. I enjoy timber, kind of like
Mhm.
oak bottoms. And one of my favorite hunting spots is on a friend of mine's property um, in Kansas. And it's in this oak bottom. And the sun comes up just right over the corner, right to your right hand side. And I don't know, it's a very I think everyone should experience at least once, right? Whether you shoot
Right.
something or not, or whether you harvest an animal or not. There's just something about being in the woods right as the sun starts to come up and or go down, that there's just this baseline that everything's at, and that's
Mhm.
my opinion. But if I had to pick, I think it'd be in an oak bottom in a deer stand for sure. You can it's great. I love it.
Okay. Now, when you are in this favorite spot, obviously you want to be paying attention for the animal to come by, and as a hunter, you get to do what you love most. But
Right.
how does the coffee experience play out when you're out in the field with your clients or just having fun with their family and friends?
Yeah, and when you mean coffee experience.
I mean, that coffee experience, just having a
Oh, yeah.
nice
So
early morning, sun's coming up. That's my favorite
yeah.
time of the day, by the way. I get up just as the sun is starting just to peek through, and I just wanna have a cup of coffee and watch the sunrise. That's my favorite part of the day.
Absolutely, and right, so Backbone coffee is my favorite coffee, of course, right?
Of course.
Huh,
We'll talk
but
about
no,
that.
yeah, no, you're fine. I enjoy, right, whether like you said, right, whether I'm going hunting or not. I mean, this morning I was up at 5, it's just kind of
Mhm,
what I do. I make myself a pour over coffee,
mhm,
1 cup, enough for 1 cup, and I think starting my day there, kinda with a win.
mhm,
Right? Because don't get me wrong, I mean, we'll try different things and I'll try different things and try and make my coffee taste a little bit different, or maybe I want it here. But if I can get it just right in the mornings and
mhm.
start my day with a win is like I'd like to call it. And I think that's a great way to do it. And it goes hand in hand with hunting. I mean, if I'm having a don't get me during the rut, right? November is kind of the rut up here for whitetail. And
Mhm.
myself with some of my buddies are hunting as much as we can and as much as the wives like us to, right? But just getting up, I mean, it's a great way to start my day for sure.
Okay.
Good tasting coffee and nice way to wake you up and get you in the mood. And I'll fill up my big thermos. I keep it in my pack. And every now and then, if I need to stretch my legs, if it's a little slow, I'll stand up, take me a couple sips of coffee, and that's it. So can't beat
I
it.
love it. Sounds like
Yeah.
a great life.
Yeah.
I love that. So how did you get started in this with Backbone, Coffee
Oh
Company? What
man.
was the spark that kinda got you said, "Wait a minute here, I think I need to
You,
venture out into another, area of business," and how did this idea of coffee, come about?
so the idea, I don't wanna say it's a long story, but I'll try and keep it as brief as I can. Where the idea came from, I'll start there. I was in, Nashville, Tennessee for work, right, for the
Mhm,
company I was working for at the time, oil company, and, I was actually on the phone with a friend of mine who's actually a partner in this business as well, and at the time, we didn't Backbone was he didn't even know it was an idea. I just was talking to him and I'm like, "Hey, have you ever thought about starting a coffee brand?" And he's like, "What? No, I haven't." And I'm like, "Well, we drink it every morning." He's like, "Yeah, I know, yada, yada." And he said, "Well, who are we starting it for?" And I said, "I don't know yet." And I said, "But I'll figure it out."
okay,
And that day, I didn't know it was that day, but that day I was at a red light and one of those big skyscraper cranes, I think that's the correct word for 'em, industrial crane, if you will.
mhm,
This guy was just swinging, I think it was a big piece of I-beam or whatever it may have been at the time, just over the skyline, and I didn't think anything of it at that moment, and later on in that day, I said, "Well, what if I started a coffee brand for that guy?" And I thought, "That guy's job is huge, it's very important, right? He's building these
mhm,
buildings that all these people work in that we're driving under, and in my head, I'm like, if this guy climbed down that crane and walked by me, I'd have no idea who he was. And I doubt he would even want that recognition. So then
mhm,
it went from, well, that guy's does an everyday job that just seems to be overlooked in a way. And I'm going, well, I'm in the oil field, right? Without guys like me, there's no gas in our cars, there's no oil in the cars. And my buddy who I was on the phone with is an electrician, still to this day, and still a partner in this. And I'm like, well, with him, He's an electrician. He wires up houses. He wires up buildings. I'm like, okay. So then it started to roll into just these everyday jobs that these people are doing in this country that I think mean something, right?
Right.
And that's where the idea came from. But coffee came from whether it's myself individually or yourself individually in the morning. That's what you like to do. You start your day with a cup of coffee. When I would walk into work and go into the control room or go into the kitchen, 9 times out of 10, when I'd get there to go on shift, you can find myself and the rest of our crew hanging around over a couple cups of coffee right before
Mhm.
they go start their round or um, get their schedule for the day.
Sure.
So that is kind of a nutshell of how it all intertwines and especially in the trades, you can learn a lot about somebody over a cup of coffee for sure.
Okay.
Kind of like what we're doing here.
Very much so. It's like I say about the show, it's like having an adult beverage with a friend you haven't seen in 15 years, except today it's just a cup of
That's
coffee.
it. Yeah, absolutely. And that and the name itself, right? Backbone. That was
Mhm.
not it was no name. It was just an
Right.
idea. And that took a couple weeks, but I do think without the guys I have running this with me,
Mhm.
um, I don't think I'd be where we're at today. I mean, I think you need certain aspects, excuse me, and maybe certain roles and certain people that I may not have to join this team and kind of push me in that direction or push me here, but vice versa at the same
Mhm.
time. So everyone willing to be flexible, willing to learn as a team, willing to grow, and that's the guys that we've got, and it's fantastic.
That's great. And I love what you just shared. It takes a team because we can't do everything. I mean, the same thing with the podcast. My partner, he's the back of the house. He's the
Yeah,
one that does the IT, and his team edits the episodes, and I give them the specs of what I'm looking for, but I stick with the front of the house. I'm the one that's doing the interviews. But you have to have that in any entrepreneurial small business type of endeavor. What's it been like to have 2 side I mean, plus I wanna mention a little in a minute and talk a little bit more about your family, but what's it like to have 2 businesses here? You're out the real estate business, and then you've got the coffee business. What's it like to kind of manage both of those?
I think I can somewhat make it more stressful than it actually is, and I
Okay.
think it goes back to what you had just mentioned of team, right?
Mhm.
On the coffee side, there's 3 of us. You know, sure, it was my brainchild, if you will, right? But there's 3 of us, and if communication is great, if we have our to-do list is up to date, I don't have anything to worry about. If I have to step away for I say step away, focus on something else, and then that also goes into the same side of real estate. At the same time, I am my own business, yes, but it just goes into teamwork. If I have a property that for some reason I can't get to, I can go to a colleague of mine and say, "Hey, you mind handling this for me real quick?" And I know it'd be taken care of.
Mhm.
So I think everything goes back into teamwork, but for um, myself, I think I can put more stress than it actually is. But I think that may be just me too. I want to have this. I want both to work, and I don't know the word I'm looking for. I just want to do right on both
Mhm.
sides.
No,
And I
it's
think you can get over jumbled and over clustered, and organization definitely can help you out. I have my planner right here.
you have to.
Anything throughout the day that I need, I can write it down. I've actually been taking advantage of our technology too, of just using these. I don't know whether you have an Android or an Apple, but
Mhm.
whatever it may be, taking advantage of what we have, right? I don't want to say it because my phone will probably go off, but hey, make this reminder for me.
Sure.
That's it. Really, really organization, communication, self-organization, should I say, is where it should start. But
Sure.
yeah,
Sure.
sorry. I know we're all around, but we're gonna get there.
No, that's okay. Well, it's important, especially in this day and age, because even running the business, any business, there's a lot of moving parts, and
Mhm.
anything we can do within the work to find it's not a shortcut because you still have a process you need to have in place to get the work done, but identifying other tools and people because there's people smarter than me doing things that yes, I can do it, but I don't want to do it. It's not the best use of my time.
There
So
you
if I
go.
have a tool or an individual doing the work, that's fine. And you build up a level of trust because and you also have to give them the instructions. This is what I'm looking for. And you got to remind them, but you still have ownership of the ultimate product that's how you build a team. You learn to trust each other and have the right tools in place. So that's perfect.
Absolutely. And on the coffee side too, we're kind of each individual has their own niche or job that they're over, right?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but yeah,
Well, we're going to talk more about the coffee in just a second too, because I want to go to the website. But let's talk about family now. You have a wife and a young daughter, and maybe a pet or two. But
yeah,
how's this?
yeah.
That's a whole other complexity that I don't have. But how does this all play together? I mean, is wife part of the business? Does she or she just say, "Honey, just go do your thing"?
No, no. So my wife is not involved in the business. I guess she kind of is in a way, but no, no, sir, she's not. She works in the medical field at the moment, and yes, so I am married. I do have a 6-year-old daughter. And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry. How does that play kind of into everything? One, I think I am beyond blessed with who I married. We've been together. Oh gosh, I think we're going on 10 years. We've
Mhm.
only been married a year, so I think she had to make sure she was making the right decision, I guess.
Okay.
But no, all jokes aside, no, she's fantastic. And that's something I didn't have growing up is my parents had divorced when I was really young, but a goal of mine is to be different, right? And a good
Mhm.
different in that aspect. But my wife is my biggest fan. She's my biggest critic. She always asks, "Hey, how's Backbone going?" And but if it's on the land side, she's, "Hey, how's this going?" And if it's a win, then she'll celebrate with me, right?
Mhm.
I definitely think, and I'm also learning, right? I've only been married a year, but who you have by your side, I think is huge. I think it can either be we never want it to, but I think it can be a drag down, right?
Mhm.
If it's not the best way, but she's huge, she's key, especially for me. Like, when I'm home, and those 2 girls mean the absolute world to me, and my daughter is just she's all dad. We spend a lot of time together, which I'm very grateful for. Doing these things also allows me to spend a lot of time with them, and I'm very grateful for as well. But, yeah, family's huge. We're our own little pods over here. It's always us 3, and I do have family, up here, but obviously the main, cluster of our family's down back in Louisiana. But
Okay.
moving away definitely kinda strengthened us too, in a way, for sure, which I'm
Okay.
very grateful of.
Very
So
nice. It's great to hear, and at some point, I imagine, your little one's gonna be out there walking the field for a real estate
it's right.
transaction or up in the blind, waiting for the deer to come by or the
Oh, yeah.
the waterfowl to come flying by, so which is kinda nice, which is
Oh,
kinda
yeah.
nice. So listen, I would love if we could take a tour of your website, if that's okay, and just kind of
Absolutely.
give our listeners and folks on YouTube a flavor of Backbone Coffee Company with the miracle of technology. I'm going to share my screen, and we should be looking at it right now.
There we go.
Excellent. So walk us through, take us on a little tour.
So I think you're at the very bottom of the page right
Okay.
now. There we go.
All right.
We go all the way to the top. So yeah, this is what you'll see kind of as soon as you log in. Rise and grind. Obviously, that's kind of one of the catchphrases we use. No pun intended for the coffee on the grind side. Ha. But no, I mean, rise and grind is, hey, get up and get after it. I think that's what we do every day, and
Hmm.
um, our audience is the same way. So then you'll get down. So those are our 3 flagship blends. That's kind of
Hmm.
the OGs, if you will, right? So when we
Right.
launched, we did a dark, medium, and a light. This year, we've got 3 more coming to you, but I can't speak on those too much,
Quiet.
which I'm
We'll be
very excited for. So I guess a little hint I'll give you guys would be the one of the blends that's gonna come out first is very Southern. So that's kind of all I'll
Okay.
say is comes
Okay.
from New Orleans. So we'll let you guys do what you will with
I
that.
love it. Now, what is your of these, 3 flagship blends, which one is your personal favorite?
My personal favorite for flavor profile, I'd have to go with Jack of all trades, which would be our light roast. I am a dark roast guy, but the light roast we have is it's just, oh man, it's very flavor packed, and it's actually a single origin, so it's actually not a blend, and it's my favorite there. But one other trick I'll tell you too, um, if you mix our dark and our medium, you kind of get this. There's no name for that blend, but if you mix our dark and our medium, that's something special as well. So maybe there's a little hint for you there too. So
Very good. I love it. Well, I recognize the graveyard shift, and I do appreciate that's the dark roast, and I'm a dark roast, kinda guy, so I love that.
thank you.
By the
Yeah.
way, I love your, who this is all a part of the partnership, your partners in this endeavor, the team, but the visual side of this website and the packaging and even the photos up on your social sites were great. And so I just really appreciate the effort that went into this.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, that was one thing we want quality
Mhm.
throughout every aspect of this, right? Whether it be the coffee you're getting. So our coffee is roasted fresh to order too. So quality there, quality on how you view us, but also in customer service. We just want it across all I's dotted and T's crossed.
Okay.
So
So right now you're strictly roasting. You just said roasting to order. So how far where have the bags of coffee traveled so far when these orders have come in? Where they've been going?
we have actually sent some to Canada. That's the furthest we've been. But
Okay.
we've covered mainly all aspects of the country, northeast, south, and west. But
Okay.
I would say we are based out of Louisiana, so a lot of our sales come from the south. But we've actually, yeah, Canada was a shock for us. I was like, oh
Okay.
wow, it's made its way all the way up there.
Well, I have in fact, a podcast episode right after this one that I have to record. He's up in Ottawa, and we always talk about coffee.
Yeah,
So he just moved there with his wife, and Howard, you got to come up. And I want to say, hey, by the way, Jim, guess what? I just finished a podcast with, so you got to check these guys out. So you may have another
absolutely. I would love that.
customer from Canada.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we got a lot of stuff going here. I love again the visuals, and you're really speaking to your brand here. And so where else, should we go?
So we have up top, you can see there's our gear there, which is just hats, tees, our hoodies, if you want to get some mugs.
Okay,
TGA would be the
okay,
Grind Alliance.
okay.
If you want to see if our gear will pop
Yeah,
up.
I
Yep.
gotta see the merch. I gotta see
There
the
you go.
merch. All
There you
right.
go.
I love enamel mugs. Those are cool.
Yeah, they
And
don't
you're
break
wearing
when you
this is
drop
what
them.
you're wearing right now?
That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. Okay. Okay, so let's go to TGA, the
Yeah, so
Grind
this is
Alliance.
new. We're calling this
Okay,
the Grind Alliance. So kind of
okay.
anyone who would like to become an affiliate. And what that is basically you put out a code for your followers and or your friends, family, whoever it may be. You can make somewhat of a commission off of each sale, off of each new customer that you bring us. So, yep, there's
Mhm,
our brand ambassadors, Miss Kobe and Miss Ashley. We just brought Miss Ashley on. We're gonna get her stuff updated, but Kobe is fantastic. First brand ambassador that we've brought on. She
mhm,
actually works offshore
mhm.
on a drilling rig out there. So she's a
Oh,
great
wow.
person. Yeah, yeah, she knows what it's all about.
Okay.
So
Excellent.
then, yep, you'll go to
Very
about. Some of this is actually new. It actually launched today, so
Oh, wow. We're getting
yeah,
like
you're getting some
it's
fresh
like fresh
stuff.
coffee. We're getting it right out of the hopper there.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay, I
this is
like
just
it.
kind of an about us, kind of why we started it, and why we think it's so important. In my
Okay.
opinion, um, I think the working class is things go jobs gets put into this everyday category, and
Mhm.
it just I wanted a brand that everyone that are in the trades that do these everyday jobs can somewhat circle around, right? If you see a mug, if you see a hat, if you see a hoodie of our logo, if whoever's wearing it, one, they're in the trades, or two, you support what they're doing.
I love it.
And
Do you
that's really all it
recall
was.
do you recall many years ago, there was this photo, maybe that's when they were building skyscrapers in New York, but these the I don't even know what you call these individuals. They're up on this beam, just sitting out there. They've
Mhm.
got the old lunch boxes that look
I know
like a,
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
and it's like, and I imagine with technology these days, you could probably swap out a bottle of a bottle of some Coke or something with a nice one of your mugs and drinking the coffee.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about as I was going through the website, is that particular scene. Very
Yeah,
cool.
I think those guys were building the Empire State Building on that picture, and I believe they were iron workers, so just
Iron
guys
workers.
who yep, put that
Okay.
together. Yeah, so this is gonna start dropping. Like I said, this is new. That's me, obviously. The other 2 are blurred out. They're be well, I guess
We'll
yeah.
we'll we'll keep them blurred out for whatever reason. It's okay.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
kinda something our marketing guys putting together is we want our audience to be able to, 1, find out who I am. How did this start, right?
Mhm.
Other than watch your podcast here, like, if they were to go on our website, they'll be able to know, "Oh, okay, this is the guy who started this. These are
Gotcha.
the people involved," because at the end of the day, I'm just a regular guy. I still know how to turn a wrench. I come
Mhm.
from it. I grew up in that culture, and I definitely think that helps me out through life. I mean, dealing with multitudes of different people in different jobs.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's a fantastic thing, and that's what we wanna show people here is we're just normal dudes and women,
Mhm.
and that's it.
I love it. I love it.
So,
Now I do see you've got your shopping cart there,
that's it.
and you do have, the social sites, so there's
Yep, there you
YouTube,
go.
Facebook, Insta, that's Pinterest, I think, and then X. Okay.
Yep.
Before we head back, what tell me more about this free fishing trip contest. That kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
oh, what's all that?
Okay, so myself as well as my other partners in this, we love to fish. We love to spearfish. So what we're doing is for all of our affiliates, right? If you sign up to get an affiliate code, whoever brings us the most new customers, we're going to take you guys fishing with us. So
Oh, wow.
you and you can bring someone along as well, and you guys will fly in, meet with us, fly or drive, whatever you want to do. Hang out with us for a long weekend and catch some fish. So that's literally it. Just hanging out with us.
I love
Um,
that, and by the way, I think I might share this on my podcast about section, but I'm a member of the Outdoor Writers Association of America,
right?
and I know a lot of folks who are into fishing, a lot.
Ah, that would
And
be
some of them
fantastic, yeah.
yeah, some of them are even into what I would call extreme fishing, so river
Uh-oh.
monsters,
Oh,
and
wow.
and there's one particular redhead, that's her bag, okay?
Uh-oh.
I only went fishing for the first time last year, okay?
Oh, wow.
That's exactly what people say, "Oh, wow." Really? I'm a city boy, okay? I'm an urban city
That's
boy,
alright. That's
but,
alright.
I love this. This is a great website. I love the visual side of this is just phenomenal, and, I'm definitely gonna have to check out some of the graveyard. I will even check out some of the light roast just because you are
Alright.
speaking so very highly of it. This is great. Thank you for sharing the website with us.
No, thank you, and, yeah, I mean, just how it looks, it comes out of my brain onto this website, and I gotta give a shout out to our marketing guy. I mean, he's very good at what he does, and,
Yeah,
um, I give him all the credit there.
I
I
love
know
it,
what I
and
want it to look like, but I don't know how to make it look like that, and he does, so
there you go. Well, that's again, it's having the right people on the team, and
there you
that's what
go. Yep,
counts. All right, I
yep.
am going to stop sharing, and that'll bring us back
There we go.
together. So, I don't think I asked this, but how long, has Backbone, Coffee Company been around?
So the idea, a couple years,
Okay.
production, what are we in March now? So it was September. So we've only been in production for October, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, going on right at 6 or 7 months here.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we are definitely gonna have the links and we'll sign up as an affiliate and, put get people to click on links for you, and let's see if we can get some cash register singing, and I'm always in the mood for a good cup of coffee, so
Thank you for
that
that.
goes without
Yeah.
saying.
And
Um,
absolutely. I mean, get with us after this. We'd love to send you some and we'll take care of you.
I love that, but thank you, thank you.
Absolutely.
Before we head out, Cameron, I am curious, now that you growing up in Louisiana, you were definitely in the trades. You moved up to Oklahoma, now you're in real estate, you've got this with your team as partners, this entrepreneurial endeavor, the
Yeah.
coffee company. What's been your, what I would call your aha moment when somebody you ran into, or or something you saw or did, or that somebody said, Cameron, what a great job, or like, I know you guys. I've seen your merch before. And what's been your aha moment in this work you're
So
doing?
I, th- there's a couple, but I think one when a couple folks have reached out to us who I don't know, I've never met, right? Reach out to us through social and are saying, "Hey, we want to work with you. We like what you have going. We think what you're doing is great." That is just hearing it from one person, right? Let's just start. I don't need to hear it from millions and tens of thousands. Just from one person saying, "Hey, what you're doing is fantastic. I want to be a part of it." That's a okay. Maybe I'm doing something great here. It's something I believe in, but now someone I don't even know believes in it. So that's sort of the aha moment for me. And that's came pretty recently because people try our coffee and they love it. And that's what I want. I want to bring a delicious cup of coffee at a fair price. That's part of our mission. And then to be the cup of coffee that every hardworking American deserves is that's why we're here, or that's why I believe in it so much, and but that's yeah, sorry. When people reach out to us and say, "Hey, we love what you got going. I wanna be a part of it."
No,
That's
I
all I
love
need.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
And by the way, your passion comes through, and
Thank you.
that's what people are gonna remember is the passion and a good cup of coffee.
That's
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
By
Hey,
the
we'll
way,
get you one of these too. We'll get you a
I
mug.
love that. I have to share this. It's sometimes I have my own agenda when I'm doing my own podcast. Well, it
It's
is my
alright.
podcast.
Yeah.
You know why I drink coffee in a glass mug?
Why is that? I have the same mugs too, but go ahead.
Yeah, because I wanna see good coffee.
Ah, there you go. I like that.
All right.
Heck, maybe I should make these clear. Well, I guess you can't do clear enamel, huh?
No, I love the enamel ones, and, but, yeah, I wanna see good coffee.
I
If
like
I'm
that.
roasting my own coffee, I wanna see it.
I like that.
If if there was an opportunity to share with our listeners, and they're in all walks of life, all outdoor experiences, is there a quote or a book or something you'd like to share, a thought that you'd like to leave with them?
Yeah. Huh. You'll stop you'll stop worrying about what people think when you realize how seldom they do, is my
All right.
favorite quote. Why? I think, 1, the quote itself says what it's saying, right? And
Mhm.
and it's going on entrepreneurship or even moving away, right? People will tell you things. People will say, "Oh, that's crazy. That's not gonna work. Why are you gonna do that? Well, this already they have this, yada yada." But at the end of the day, it's literally you'll stop worrying about what people think when you realize how seldom they do. It's it. If you just
Mhm.
focus on your own path and you do what you want to do,
Mhm.
I don't have anyone other than myself I need to impress. Does that make sense?
No, it does, and you don't know this, but the other part of my life is I'm a coach. Leadership
Oh, nice.
development, career
Okay,
development,
yeah.
executive coaching. The only downside of all this is I sit too much. So I have to get out and do more outdoor activities. But I love the coaching, and I cannot tell you how many times in a conversation people will share what I would call this belief that other people are paying attention to them day in, day out. There's a possibility it's gonna
Yeah,
happen, but we have to follow our passion and not worry about what, everybody else thinks. As long as we've got a good team behind us, a loving family, helping
that
us talk through our decisions, then we shouldn't care what other people think, as long
right.
as we're not harming anybody, and you guys have a great product, you're following your passions, and that's fantastic, and we should all be doing that. If we were all doing that, we'd be in a lot better place, I think, so I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and I mean, none of us are perfect here, so everyone's trying.
You got it. Before we head out, just a reminder, if where are the best places to go if folks would like to learn about you and Backbone Coffee Company, where would you like to send them?
Yeah, so we have our website, www.backbonecoffee.com. You can find us on Instagram. We are on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. But yeah, I mean, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm on our Instagram site a good bit. Not only
Okay,
does our marketing team run that as well, but I'm in there. So a lot of the times it'll be me replying if anyone messages and stuff of that nature. So, but yeah, or
excellent.
our emails are on there as well, and you can find us
Good.
through our emails. So
Sounds like a plan. Well, we will provide all those backlinks in our show notes. So, Cameron, it's been a pleasure to meet you, get to know you, and just kind of hear about your journey. And again, from one coffee guy to another, this is, I can't think of a better way to start a day with a good cup of Backbone coffee. And so I'm looking
thank you,
forward to,
Howard. Yeah, I really appreciate you for having me. Hey, this one's for
all
you. I
right.
appreciate you.
Okay. Listen, stay in the line. We're going to do a quick close and you and I can have a final chat. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, folks, we have just been chatting with Cameron Mauk. He is the founder of Backbone Coffee Company. What a great story. I mean, just the journey from Louisiana, working in the trades, following a passion for the land and his hunting and his fishing endeavors, and just as a real estate. I never even knew you could buy land just to have it for just your hunting experiences. So I'm going to have to chat about this with my friends at Upland Almanac and see what we can do to get down there and take advantage of these types of experiences. But we all know how much I love a good cup of coffee, and it was so great to hear about Cameron and his partners basically taking this really far-fetched idea. I don't know if it'd be far-fetched, so no disrespect, Cameron, but somewhere there's a spark that says let's do this. So Backbone Coffee Company was born and not too long ago, and hope you all take advantage and go out to the website, the social sites, which we are going to provide the backlinks in our show notes, and sample some good coffee. And it's for folks that are out there working and grinding and doing their best to get along, and they need to have a good cup of coffee as well. So again, do visit the Backbone Coffee Company on their website, backbonecoffee.com, and all or on their social sites, and we'll provide all those backlinks. As for us, you can find this episode on our website, outdooradventureseries.com. We are also on LinkedIn and Facebook. We have the episode also up on YouTube. Now you'll see the video portion of the episode or all the episode, plus Cameron's taking us on a tour of the Backbone Coffee Company's website, which I thought was really fantastic. So great imagery. And of course, you can find this episode wherever you listen to your podcast. Just search for Outdoor Adventure Series. Okay, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a phenomenal day. And we look forward to having you join us on a future episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. Take care now.